मध्यमम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजव्यामोहितस्तरितराणि तृणायमेने तस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धो रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये कौण्डिन्यान्वये सञ्जातं शुभगोपगुरोत्सुतं रङ्गदेशिकसच्चिष्यं श्रीपिल्ललोकं गुरुमुजे. Dear Bhagavad Bandhus, today we assembled for our first Varshikotsavam event of the Srinivasa temple. And then it is very auspicious that Srinivasa came to our town, and then we have a opportunity to participate.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Opportunity to participate in his seva. So, let's use this occasion to address our basic principles and perspective of our temples. So why in our Sanatana Dharma we need the temples, the purpose of the temples. So every religion has their own places of worship, the Christianities and then other religions also a place of worship. The main for them has two reasons. One is the congregation, another one is the prayer. So prayer is for well-being of inner self, and then prayer for the world or something. And the congregation is needed for to spread the word of God, whatever their holy book teaches. Is that the same for our temples also? No, it's not. So the temples in Sanatana Dharma, the concept originated for the temples is not just for mere worship, it's not just for mere prayer. Temple is not a place of worship.
Bluetooth connected.
Temple is a place of God. So when the Rishis conceptualized this temple, they wanted to do the two things for us. One is to get the spiritual literacy. And this, what is the spiritual literacy? Is we have to go a lot of philosophy into that. Let's don't go into that. The spiritual literacy is knowing the system that we are in. So how we are functioning, how the world is functioning, how the things are happening and why they are happening. So this is, we don't believe in this some the lunatic creation of a man outside of this realm, and then we all came here out of a consequence or an accident. It's not like that. It had a purpose. It is driving by the purpose, and our system is going by the natures of law created by the Bhagavan. So to know about this system is the spiritual literacy. You may be a PhD in quantum physics. If you don't know the spiritual, you're spiritually illiterate. It's the same thing. And the next thing, the Rishis, in the Sanatana Dharma, we have the sentient, non-sentient beings. So we don't recognize just men as living beings. Even the mic, table, chair, all these ones are the part of the Prakriti, and we are the Jivas and he is the Paramatma. So they clearly distinguished this. So when they're putting the racial supremacy of men with the animals, so why the Rishis said that three things we have different. One is the aspiration, action and accomplishment. So animal may hunt for the hungry. So the action of an animal doesn't have an aspiration, and it doesn't feel an accomplishment even after eating it. So for the men, for the human, it's different. We aspire to be something. For that, we will do an action. Because of that action, we accomplish something with satisfaction. So we have these three things. So why the temple is needed is for that. What is to guide the aspiration and to give the freedom to act, and then to control the accomplishment. That's what the Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Karmanya Vadikaraste. So we do the action, give the karma to me. Accomplishment is not in our hand. Accomplishment should be fulfilled to be the Brahmanandam. That is the ultimate purpose. So that's another reason we need a temple. So all the architecture, everything, the Sampradayam, pujas, everything are in line with this. So people can say that, oh, how all the God manifestation is man's imagination of something. It's not an imagination, because we don't believe God sits somewhere else, and then when we die, he's sitting on the judgment day. If you are doing good, he's sent to the heaven, and if you don't do good, sent to the hell. We don't believe that. God is in the Sanatana Dharma, is immanent, that is inside us. Transcendental is outside us. So the same God who is inside us is outside us. And then the problem here is, the God which is immanent inside us is also not accessible easily. The God outside the transcendental is also not accessible easily. So in science we have these three states, liquid, solid, gas. in between these stages, there is a one stage called plasma. This is the main stage that we can use to preserve the anything. So that state is called an Archavadara. So God, who is compassionate with His grace, came all the way down to be an accessible God. In Bhagavad Ramanuja and Srivasha says, what is the God? Is that he says just one simple line. Anavadijaya asankhya asankhya kalyana gurugana. Immeasurable, infinite, indefinable good qualities accumulated together is a God. So that kind of a God comes down for us to be an accessible, so we can feel Him, we can do the puja, we can do performance, we can do nritya, we can do song, we can sing song, so we can feel the accomplishment of His listening to us, we can communicate to us. That's why we cannot call them as an idols, it's called deity. The idol is something which doesn't have any life in it, but the deity has in it. So once the Venkateswara Pratishtha here happened, it became the deity. The power of the manifestation comes from the God. And then that power needs to be mediated, then mediated by the Archakas. With their puja, with their Pran Pratishtha, with their everything, they mediate. And it up to our job is to be receptors. If we don't receive it, we cannot do anything. God cannot also do anything. So that's how the temples originated in our Sanatana Dharma. So whenever somebody asks us, you have a temple, you have a church, same thing, it's not same thing. Because they can create any places of worship, but you cannot create temple anywhere. It should be a particular set of principles to be followed for that. That's what the temples are for. That is the when we have to do. And then the next one is why we need to come to temple. So this concept applies our puja rooms also. The God is transcendental, that means my puja room also God is there. I don't need to come to temple. So there is for this to temple functioning. Acharyas gave one beautiful example. I just moved to our modern example, right? How the melody comes. Is it because of the guitar or the guitar player? The melody originates in guitar player, doesn't come out until you have a guitar. And then guitar itself cannot produce melody. It needs a guitar player. So God with His entire grace came to us. He has to come to manifest in Archavadara. At the same time, the Bhakta has to come and then reciprocate to take that Bhagavan's blessing. That's how the temple functions. So for that, you can say that I can do my Archana, my puja in my home. I don't need to come to the temple. That's true. You can do Archana Venkateswara Swami in your house, Venkateswara Swami here, Venkateswara Swami in Tirupati. Yes, same. There is no difference. The only problem here is any mistake we do, or we might not be fully surrendered to the God. All this was taking for a long time, more and more births for us to reach that Vaikuntha. So to avoid that, what Acharya said is the shastram says, Pashur Manushyaha Pakshivacha Vaishnava Samshrayaha Tadeva Samprasyam Tadvishnu Paramambara. So when you have a Vaishnava Samshraya, the Bhagavata's help, when we come to the temple, we don't know who is the great Bhakta, who is the lesser, we don't know. But we all come to the temple, we all sit together, we all chant, we all participate. There might be one Bhagavata who doesn't care about any of the worldly things, or who cannot live without Bhagavan, without seeing Bhagavan. This kind of a Bhagavata comes to the temple, because Bhagavata never go out of the Bhagavan. He always comes to wherever the Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtan, Tatra Tatra. So that one Bhagavata will be there. So through the Bhagavata, we will get the blessings of Bhagavan first. Even though our wishes are materialistic, even though we came for our job, for our children's education, for health, whatever reason we came. But because of that Bhagavata Samshayam, right, we get the moksham easily. So it was said that na yago in Kali Yuga, na yago na yogo, navatantra mantro, nahi jnanadane na bhakti prapatti, tadapcha dhalabdo na sandeha gandho, balame mahat bhashyakaranubandha. So in Kali Yuga, neither the yaga nor yoga, neither the bhakti nor prapatti, nothing will give you complete jnanam of the God. So what will give the complete jnanam of the God is the Ramanuja Sambandhi gives the God of God. Because even though you do your own penance, you do your own puja, you do your own thing, At the end of the day, he is the one who decides whether we get moksha or not. It's a 50-50 chance. If the God judges us by two, one by justice, second by grace. For immature, he uses justice. For immature, he uses grace. For mature, he uses justice. So it's a 50-50 chance. But if you hold the feet of Bhagavata, then it's a 100% chance. Because in Bhagavatam, there's a beautiful story. It's called the pot gave the moksha. Pot became the reason for the moksha. And then pot, non-sentient pot became the moksha. One day in Nandavraja, Krishna was in his throwing all his tantrums, being naughty. And then he broke this pot of curd. Then Yashoda got angry and started chasing Krishna. And Krishna is a young kid and he's running. And then Yashoda is running his back. While he's running on the streets, he found this businessman who's coming back to house. After day-long business, he sold all this milk and curd in the big pots. So he went to that guy. He said, Grandpa, my mom is chasing. Please hide me in your pot. And then once she left, I can go back peacefully. Then that guy said, okay, fine, sit in there. Then Krishna sat in the pot. He closed the pot. Yashoda came to him. And Yashoda asked him, did you see my son? He looks like this. She explained how he looks like. And that guy claimed innocence. And he said that I didn't see this guy anymore. I'm going back to my house. So I'm tired. So then Yashoda left back. Wherever he go, he will come back to the house. Now, he won't open the pot. Now the businessman says that I'm a businessman. Money is a transactional thing. I help you something, you help me something back. And Krishna says, I'm a kid. What can I help you do? Then he says, give me moksha. And then Krishna says, I don't know what moksha is. Because I'm a kid, you are an old man. You should know what moksha is. How would I know the moksha? Then that businessman says that I don't care what you know, what you don't know. I want the moksha. If you give the moksha, I'll open the pot. If you don't give the moksha, I won't open the pot. Then Krishna says that I can't breathe here. I don't care if you breathe or breathe or not. Give me the moksha, I'll open the pot. Then Krishna says, after frustration, okay, fine, I'll give you the moksha, open the pot. Then he said, okay, I have one more wish. It's like, I already gave you the moksha. What, if you don't have any wishes, only you get the moksha. If you get the moksha, what more wish you have? It's like, my brother, who became this Pishachi because of curse, because he was mischievous to the Rishi, and he became a Pishachi of the curse. So he is wandering like that. Give him also moksha. Then Krishna asked, okay, does your brother loves me? Then he said, no, he hates you. Then, okay, fine. Then Krishna said, does your brother loves you? Like, no, he hates me to the point. It's like, okay, he don't love you, he don't love me. Why would I give him the moksha? Then he said, like, no, he's my brother, I want him to be there. So then he said, okay, fine, I'll give it to you. Then the third one, he said, okay, fine, open the pot. Then the businessman said, give the pot moksha. And so like, now Krishna is getting agitated. Now what you want? You want everybody, it's not easy thing. Moksha is something which is achieved by the rishis for thousands of years of tapas, everything. You are asking everything. Give the pot the moksha. Then the businessman says that, without this pot, I couldn't have got moksha. My son, my brother wouldn't have got moksha. So this pot is my acharya who got me the moksha. So give me that moksha for that pot. Then Krishna says, okay, I'll give the moksha to the pot. So that's how the pot gave the moksha to a businessman. The pot gave the moksha to the Pishachi. The pot gave the moksha. So in our Sanatana Dharma, the acharya is the only one which can grant us the moksha very easily. So that's why the temples are going to temple, visiting temple, doing the temple seva, whatever you do, small prasadam, or you clean up the premises, even putting these mics up, mics down, or any small thing. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, whatever you could do in your own strength, if you do it, I'll give you the 100% of that phala. We become spiritually literate and we become more empathetic, compassionate towards the society. So not just for charitable things, for just annadanams, we don't come to temple. We can do it in our homes also. The temple is much bigger. God came to us to be inaccessible. That's why acharyas sang praises of Ranganatha, sang praises of Srinivasa, Alvar sang praises of all these Nutaji Divi Kshetras. That's why our Sanatana Dharma survived. It cannot be eradicated by one, it cannot be demolished by another. It is a continuous process. Because otherwise 500 years we put up a fight. Now we could able to build a temple in Ayodhya. So our ancestors put up 500 years fight, not just because it's a place of worship. If it's a place of worship, one guy demolishes it, we can build it another way. But it's a place of the God that which he came out of the Karuna. And then we are up to ours to the receptors to fight for that place. That's why our ancestors put 500 years fight. Today we won. So that's why we will put any fight. We will give anything. Now we don't need to put any of it. All we need to come to the temple in whatever way we can help it. It's not helping the temple, it's helping ourselves. Whatever way we can help the temple, make this temple bigger by few, next few years we might celebrate this in a bigger temple pranganam with the Dwastamba, everything. So it's up to us to be a receptor of that power. So that's how the temples and the Acharya, the concept of the God in Sanatana Dharma manifested. It's not just a mere, okay, I want some materialistic wish, I go to the temple, 108 pradakshina, you do this, you get this. That is there, but that is not the main purpose of our temples in our Sanatana Dharma. So, based on this concept, be a Ramanuja Sambandhi, get the grace of the God, get the grace of the Acharyas first, because they are the mediator of the between for us and to the God. Without the medium, we cannot talk. So they are the medium for us. So any help, anything, whenever the temple needs us, we need temple more than temple needs us. So let's go out with that kind of a passion and then participate in any of the program of Srinivasa and get the blessings of Srinivasa. And let's take this opportunity as a spot. Even the pot give us the moksha. We don't know what can give us the moksha. Any temple in any, even the rose petal in the temple can give us the moksha. So let's try for that. Let's try for that. Jai Sri Vannarayana, Srimati Ramanuja.
జై శ్రీమన్నారాయణ. మన చిరంజీవి శ్రీవత్స స్వామి వయసులో చిన్నవాడైన చక్కటి జ్ఞానం కలిగినటువంటి యొక్క శ్రీ వైష్ణవ సత్సంప్రదాయంలో జీర్ణించుకొని వారి యొక్క పెద్దల నుంచి అందుకున్నటువంటి యొక్క జ్ఞానాన్ని లోకంలో ఉండేటువంటి యొక్క ఇంత దూరం విదేశాలకు వచ్చేసినా కూడా మనవారందరికీ కూడా పెద్దల రామానుజ సత్సంప్రదాయమైనటువంటి జ్ఞానాన్ని అందరికీ కూడా రామానుజుల వారు ఎలా అయితే అష్టాక్షరీ మహామంత్రాన్ని వెదజల్లారో, రైతు గనక విత్తనాలు జల్లినట్టుగా మన పెద్దలంతా కూడా రామానుజ మొదలుకొని అంత పై వారందరూ కూడా అక్కడి నుంచి ఇప్పటిదాకా మన పరంపర అందరూ కూడా జ్ఞానం అనుష్ఠానం ఇవై నన్రాగవే ఉడయనాన గురవై అడైందక్కాళ్ మానిలత్తీర్ తేనార్ కమల తిరుమామహల్ కొడన తానే వైహుందన్ తరుం అని మన ఉపదేశర తిరుమాల్లో ప్రమాణ మామూలు యొక్క చెప్పినట్టుగా అదేవిధంగా జ్ఞానం ఉంటేనే సరిపోదో, జ్ఞానం అనుష్ఠానం ఈ రెండు కలిసి ఉన్నట్టయితేనే పెరుమాళ్ళకి తిరువడి చేరేటువంటి యొక్క అనుగ్రహం కలుగుతుంది అని పెద్దలంతా కూడా వారు ఉపదేశాత్మకంగా చెప్పడమే కాదు అనుష్ఠించి చెప్తారనమాట. కాబట్టి ఎవరు పెద్దలు అనుష్ఠానము జ్ఞానము కలిగి ఎవరైతే ఉంటారో ఆచార్యులకి పక్షితో పోలుస్తారు. ఏమిటి పక్షితో పోలవడం అంటే, పక్షికి రెండు రెక్కలు ఉన్నట్టుగా ఆచార్యులకు రెండు రెక్కలు, జ్ఞానము అనుష్ఠానము. ఏది చెబుతామో అది ఆచరించడం అనేది ఏదైతే ఉందో అది ఒక జ్ఞానము అనుష్ఠానము. ఆ విధంగా పెద్దలంతా కూడా అదే విధంగా తర్వాత వచ్చేటువంటి యొక్క ప్రజా పిల్లలందరికీ కూడా ఈ జ్ఞాన పరంపర అందాలి అని పెద్దలు కృషి చేసిన విధంగా చిరంజీవి శ్రీవత్స స్వామి కూడా ఇంత దూరం వచ్చినా కూడా ఆలయాన్ని పురస్కరించుకొని మనవారందరికీ కూడా ఏదో తెలియచేయాలనే తపన చేత మన ఎప్పుడు కార్యక్రమాలు ఇక్కడ ఉన్నా కూడా పిలిచిన వెంటనే కాకితో కబిరంపితే అన్నట్టుగా వెంటనే వచ్చేసి మన కార్యక్రమాల్లో పాల్గొని అవకాశం ఉన్నంతలో వారి యొక్క జ్ఞానధారని మనందరికి కూడా అందించే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. చిరంజీవి శ్రీవత్స స్వామికి వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామి సంపూర్ణ అనుగ్రహం. చిన్నగా మంగళాశాసనాన్ని చేసుకుందాం. జై శ్రీమన్నారాయణ.
Bluetooth disconnected.
ఓం అశ్వదాయే च गोदायी धनधायी महाधन धनं मे रुषतां देवीं सर्वकामार्थसिद्धये पुत्रपौत्रधनं धान्यमश्वश्वाजादिगोरधं प्रजानां भवसि माताय
Bluetooth connected.
इन्द्राभां लक्ष्मीमेषाणां सूर्याभां श्रियमैश्वरीं चन्द्रसूर्याग्निसर्वाभां श्रीमहालक्ष्मीमुपास्महे शतमानं भवति शतायुः पुरुषः शतेन्द्रिय आयुष्येवेन्द्रिये प्रतिष्ठति भगवद्भागवत आचार्यानुग्रहं सकलाभीष्ट सिद्धिरस्तु तथास्तु। जय श्री